Hey there, welcome back to another video. Just like last time, my name is Nick. Got my notes right here like always, and today I wanted to take a second to talk about the goalie that has taken the NHL by storm this season. That is Brandon Bussi. For those of you unaware, Brandon Bussi is a 27-year-old rookie goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes. He started this season in the Florida Panthers organization, and then the Hurricanes claimed him off of waivers, meaning they didn't have to give anything up to get him. They just had to take his contract from the Florida Panthers. And boy, howdy, is this waiver claim paying off for the Hurricanes. He made his NHL debut on October 14th, 2025, so just over 2 months ago, and he has already set the record for fewest games played by a goaltender to start his career to get to 10 wins, winning 10 out of his first 11 games. So just 12 games into his NHL career, here's what his stat line reads. He has the 12 games played. He has a record of 11 wins, 1 loss, 0 overtime losses, a goals against average of 2.05, and a save percentage of 911 with one shutout. And this kind of magic that Brandon Bussi is having was very reminiscent of me to when Jordan Binnington came into the league and kind of set the league on fire with the Blues. So I wanted to compare their stats through Jordan Binnington's first 12 starts because he did have some relief appearances in there, but through his first 12 starts. So in his first 12 starts, remember, he had a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, 1 overtime loss. Goals against average and save percentage, I could not find the actual numbers, so I tried to calculate it myself. These two stats might be a bit off just because math's not my strong suit, but this is what I got. I have a goals against average for him in this 12 game stretch of a 1.66 and a save percentage of 934 with 2 shutouts. So, stat wise, Brandon Bussi is a little lower end than Jordan Binnington was, but still very, very good, not discounting what Brandon Bussi has done so far this season. By the end of his rookie season, Jordan Binnington had started, 30 games, had a record of 24 wins, 5 losses, and 1 overtime loss, a goals against average of 1.89, and a save percentage of 927 with 5 shutouts on the season. And famously, that was the year that the St. Louis Blues were in last place in January, and come playoffs, they ended up winning the Stanley Cup. That was the 18-19 season. So I think part of what helped Jordan Binnington during that season was when he came up, a lot of teams didn't really have a book on what his weak sides were, where to aim, and teams weren't really figuring that out on the fly. He also didn't make his debut as a starter until January, so that gave teams even less time to try to figure him out in net. Brandon Bussi did start playing in October, and I think he's splitting starts right now with Peter Kochetkov, so maybe he's not getting as much playing time. I mean, he's got 12 games in just over 2 months, so who knows? I haven't really been watching the Hurricanes, but they just played 2 games against the Flyers, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep up with the Hurricanes to see how Brandon Bussi does from now on. So it'll be interesting to see when teams can figure out that Bussi code, if they can figure out where his weak sides are, where to aim to shoot on him. But this is bringing up a really interesting question, at least in my mind. Olympic rosters don't have to be submitted until December 31st. Is there a chance that Brandon Bussi could end up being on Team USA's Olympic roster? So I have a list of US goalies here, and I'm comparing their stats. So I'm gonna go over Brandon Bussi's and then the other goalies that I picked. So again, Brandon Bussi, 12 games played, a record of 11-1, goals against average of 2.05, and a save percentage of 911. The next goalie that I have on this list is John Gibson. I think John Gibson's probably a long shot to get selected for the USA's hockey team. If he does, he'd probably be the third string that only plays in case of emergency. But he has 18 games played this season for the Detroit Red Wings, a record of 9 wins, 7 losses, 1 overtime loss, a goals against average of 3.13, and a save percentage of 890. Next up, I got Thatcher Demko, who also has 12 games played, just like Brandon Bussi. A record of 6-5-0, a goals against average of 2.67, and a save percentage of 903. Then we got Dustin Wolf of the Calgary Flames. He has 25 games played this season, record of 10 wins, 12 losses, and 2 overtime losses. Goals against average of 2.76 and a 905 save percentage. Then we got Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars. These last three are the three that I'm assuming are probably going to be on the Olympic roster. Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars, 22 games played, record of 14 wins, 6 losses, 2 overtime losses, a 2.53 goals against, and a 907 save percentage. Jeremy Swayman of the Boston Bruins has 21 games played. 13-8 is his record, with a 2.83 goals against average and a 908 save percentage. And then Connor Hellebuck of the Winnipeg Jets has 16 games played. 9-6-1 is his record. He has a goals against of 2.44 and a save percentage of 915. So when you look at goals against average, Brandon Bussi has the best goals against average out of the 7 goalies that I just listed. And he has the second best save percentage. Excuse me. Yeah, second best save percentage out of these, only behind Connor Hellebuck. He has the best record, fewest losses with overtime combined. So, do we see this crazy scenario where Brandon Bussi ends up starting the season as like the third string goalie in the Florida Panthers organization, and come February, he is an Olympian for the U.S. men's team? The Hurricanes do have 7 more games before Olympic rosters have to be finalized, and that is on tonight. They are playing in Nashville versus the Predators, which should be a win, honestly. Then they have a bit of a tough stretch right after that. The next 4 games. On the 19th, they're at the Panthers, which they kind of just got hot. So that game could be a toss-up. They follow that up the next night on December 20th, playing at Tampa Bay. Then on the 23rd, they are at home versus the Panthers again. And then on the 27th, coming out of that Christmas break, they're at home versus the Red Wings. Followed by the 29th, where they're at home versus the Rangers. And then on December 30th, they are in Pittsburgh playing the Penguins. So outside of the four game stretch against the Atlantic, I think those other 3 games should probably be a win. But even if you only take 2 of those 4 games that you win and you drop the other 2, one of them's on a back-to-back, so he's probably not playing against the Panthers or the Lightning the 19th and 20th. And then even if he comes in and plays against the Panthers and the Red Wings and loses one of them, that's only 1 loss. So we're hypothetically going to be in a situation where he could be as good as about 16-2, and he doesn't get selected for the Olympic roster over Thatcher Demko or Jeremy Swayman or somebody like that. I think there might be a case there. Also, is he going to catch lightning in a bottle the same way Jordan Binnington did with his club for the Hurricanes? And is this going to be like that little extra boost they need to get over that hump this year? Because last year I had the Hurricanes winning in my bracket challenge, and that did not go well, obviously, because the Panthers went back to back. So just wanted to take a second to highlight what is going on with Brandon Bussi. Is he an Olympian? Will the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup with him this season? If not, I definitely think they've found their goalie of the future. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you made it this far, you might as well hit that subscribe button. When you subscribe, that's going to help me fund my hat addiction, so you will get to see your favorite team's hat on my head when I do a video on them. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye-bye.